What's up, Fit Fam? Happy Tuesday. It's Toxic Tuesday. We're going to do something a little bit different here today. We're going to be talking about seasonal awesomeness disorder and how you can catch it. Speaking of awesome, here is Miss Awesome, seasonal awesomeness.
I mean, what perfect intro to come in on.
See how I did that?
I loved that a lot. I actually was watching you and I was like, is he going to accept my invite?
I'm doing all kinds of stuff now. All we needed is we just need a theme tune next. You know what I mean?
Right?
We're on it.
I would love for us to have theme music. We need to get on that.
You like my cup? Take it easy. That's good.
I love that. That's cute. I don't have anything.
All right, Beef, it's winter. It's coming. Jon Snow would say, winter's coming. So what does that mean? It means we're wearing gray sweaters. Ooh, we want to curl up on the couch. We want to be warm in a blanket. We want to get all soft and squishy and, you know. No,
yeah.
We're sad.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I never thought that I had seasonal, they call it seasonal depression.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gotten older, I've realized I'm a lizard. I belong in the heat and the sun. And I tend to have a little bit of a harder time in the winter.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you like to be out doing stuff around people, getting better, right? Like you always like to feel like you're getting better. And then sometimes in the winter, it can feel like you slow down a little bit too much. You get too comfortable. You get too soft. And that becomes a habit. And them habits are fine like for a couple of weeks, you know? But when them weeks turn into months, it you start to realize that you're not feeling your best, right? So what we're going to talk about today is 3 ways to have seasonal awesomeness disorder and catch that instead, right?
I love that. Yes, infect me with that right now.
Well, we're going to start, seeing as it's Toxic Tuesday, we pretty much mostly talk about nutrition. So we'll start with nutrition, but we're going to go all kinds of places. So
okay. Let's do it.
Place to start is my favorite place is I say instead of binging on all these comfort foods, which comfort you for 10 seconds, then make you feel like crap the rest of the day. Why don't we binge on healthy foods by using the crock pot as much as possible?
Ooh, that is one thing that I am yet to actually invest in. I mean, even Savannah has a crock pot. She's like, there's meat in the crock pot. I'll, waiting for me when I get home. And I'm like, dang, why have I not?
So we said it was
done that yet.
No, right out the gate, this is not free, right? You got to go buy a crock pot. But the amount of money you'll save on having a crock pot, and, they're not that expensive, I don't think.
No, I don't think they are.
But the way that you save money in this, like inflation is no joke. You can buy cheaper cuts of meat and throw them in the crock pot, right? Because they're cooking all day, so they become all tender and juicy, right? So I'm saying use the crock pot every day because it's free. Well, first of all, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you the simplest way to use the crock pot. And some of you are chefs. I know, I get that. But for those people who are not chefs, this is how simple it can be. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. So beef, stick it in the middle. I don't know what that is, but you don't necessarily need it. Potatoes, carrots, some kind of gravy.
Oh, yeah, that must have been like the gravy packet, maybe.
Go to work, come back, you got this, right? So, that's the most basic. I wanted to just bring up the most basic one, just to say, 3 things, maybe a bit of gravy, throw it in, go to work. 6 hours later, you come home. This is what you've got waiting for you, right?
Right.
Now, you can get all kinds of elaborate, but the key of the easy part is you just dump it and you go, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you go on YouTube right now, you can search 20 dump and go recipes. and they give you the whole recipe. It's super simple. Dump it and go. So the fact that you don't have one of these, you got to get on it. This is.
I know.
So,
Well, it's like you said though, because I just went to Costco on Sunday and they had I bought it, even though I don't have a crock pot. I was like, I'm going to figure out something to do with this. 7 pounds of chuck roast, and it cost me $30
right.
for 7 pounds. And I was like, oh my God, I'm rich.
Perfect meat for the crock pot, right?
Right.
Because it's not great if you try and, do something with it in the oven or on the grill, but you throw in a crock pot and just let it sit. Even Chris says, look at this, crock pot over air fryer. So controversial.
I don't know, Cash. I don't know.
Yep.
Really?
Especially this time of year, right? Like winter for sure. So easy. We've got that. Cheap. Okay. You can do cheaper cuts of meat, right? Mm-hmm. The last thing, when you come home, it's cold outside, you've had a long day at work, you open the door, guess what hits you?
Oh man, the smell from the crock pot all day. That is such a good point.
It's like you've got a personal chef in the house. You walk in, you're like, dinner's ready. You can smell it. Dude. So this time of year, Cash, you've got a personal chef. In the middle of summer in Georgia, you're not going to want a crock pot. But now's the time. Mm-hmm. Let's get it out. Let's get it going. I'm challenging everybody that's listening every day. Try and do it every day for a week and see what happens.
Dang, I mean, you wouldn't even need to do it every day for a week if you make a big enough, amount to meal prep for the whole week. It's already ready.
Well, yes and no, because there's two things there. So yes, I agree because you have a lot of leftovers, but the best thing to do is do one on the day, then it's your lunch the next day. The next day. So it just keeps your meal prepping, and you've got a chef, and you've got left. Like, it's the whole thing. It's a whole vibe. So binge. You can binge on healthy foods. You make a chili, that shit'll last you a week.
Well, not even that. If you think about it, too, you've been at work all day. You're cold. You're tired. You don't want to cook. And sometimes it's easy. Just go into the kitchen. You open up the fridge. You start picking at things. You're not full. You end up snacking. And you end up binging on the wrong thing. So it's like if you actually, like you said, that, like that pot roast that you just had on the screen, you come in and you eat that, you're going to be so satisfied and so full that binging later on probably won't even be a thing. You won't even be thinking about being hungry because you'll be so full.
Let's binge on the crock pot. Right?
I love that.
Lauren did say this. This is a good point. You got to have your shit together in the morning. I apologize to people for the language, but yes, you do have to have your stuff together in the morning but when you look at that beef recipe, how much do you have to have your stuff together, right? You took the meat out of the fridge, you threw in some potatoes, you threw in some carrot. Like, you didn't even cut anything up.
No.
Sprinkle on some food, you're out the door.
I just think you just wash the veggies.
What that's going to save you in the evening? Come on.
Right.
So, crock pot. We're going to binge on it. As a team, we're all in. We're going to share recipes. Post your favorite recipe. We'll post it on our Instagram. Let's get everybody's crock pot recipes on there. Easy, cheap. Makes you happy when you come home. You got leftovers. How could you not want this? Like, this is already making winter awesome. And that's just
so, Christmas is coming up, you guys. I could use one.
There you go. Put it out there. Put it out there in the world.
I'll put it out there in the world.
But you and Kiki can both chip in for one. It'd be worth it.
Right? For sure.
Then you could alternate days. You do, I do. Woo, we're rocking and rolling. All right, next step that I've got on my list is embrace the cold. So don't be one of them people that complains about it being cold. Especially when you're one of the people that's just been bitching about how hot it was all summer. You can't do both.
No.
Right? In the space of a week, people came into the gym and went, it's too hot. And then in 1 week went, it's too cold. It's not too cold. It's just right.
No.
But embracing the cold, and most YouTube channels, most social media stuff, They're going to tell you in order to embrace the cold, you have to go out and you have to buy a $10,000 cold plunge and you have to put it in your house. That's the only way to embrace the cold. But me and you know different. So what's your ways to embrace the cold?
Well, it's so funny because I love being hot outside, but when I'm inside, I do like being cold. Um, so I tend to keep already, even right now, no AC on. And if I do get a little hot, I'm about to turn it on. And it's like a smooth 68 inside. I love that.
Yeah.
But first thing I do every day and the last thing I do every night before bed is I actually take a cold shower. So I'll get in a little warm just to soap off, rinse off, but then I'm going to stand in there for about 2 minutes in the cold.
Yep.
But the thing is I like it. Like, I look forward to it. I look forward to that moment of just like, it hits me and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm just so energized
You do
and
that
ready to
twice a
go.
day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I do it in the morning. I do a contrast shower in the morning. And all through summer, it's pointless. There's no contrast, you know?
Yeah.
But right now is when it gets exciting. Is the way to describe it, right? Like, especially in the morning, I have a hot shower. Like, I just go for as long as I want, hot shower. And then the last bit before I'm getting out is going to be cold. And I used to go hot, cold, hot. But now I just go hot and cold because when you get out, you don't feel cold.
Yes.
You're not like
Yes.
trying to get your clothes on or anything like that. You're so cold that when you get out, you start warming up naturally. And it's one of the best feelings. Like, it really is.
I think what it's always been for me as well is I was doing cold showers before just because my dermatologist was like, it's great for your skin. And now my hair is pink as well. So it's the hot water gets rid of the pink. So it's just a combination of things that I feel like I've always done that I really do enjoy the
It's like a
cold.
blast of caffeine, right? Like, it really wakes you up. It wakes up every cell of your body, and then you're out and you feel better. And like you said, it's good for your skin. It just, yeah, there's so many benefits. But also, like, it's free. And I know buying a cold plunge is the new hit thing, just like buying a Peloton and hanging your clothes on it. Like, great, buy a cold plunge and never use it. That's a good use of $10,000. But
Right?
if you for the next 2 months take a cold shower every day, now consider buying a cold plunge. But if you don't even like a cold shower, there's no chance you're going to get
No.
no chance. So for me, the cold plunge is the new exercise bike. It's just going to sit in people's house until, I mean, I wish I could pull it up, but I bet if I go on Marketplace right now, just like there's 10,000 Pelotons, there'll be 10,000 cold plunges for sale in your local area.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, though, it's easier in the summer. People are like, oh, I work out, I go home, my cold plunge is outside. But are you doing your cold plunge when it's outside, when it's 50 degrees outside and your cold plunge is 30?
You're just not going to do it anyway.
No.
Like, what are you training for? You know what I mean? Like, the cold shower wakes you up. It makes you feel better. It's nice that you're not cold. And you get a little bit like, come on, man. Like,
well, no, it's when I talk to people and they're like, well,
are sponsored by a cold plunge company.
Oh, well, yeah. But people always want to be like, well, I do a cold plunge and I do a sauna every day. And I'm like, why?
Get a hot tub. You'll have a way better life.
I do love a hot tub. Right?
Yeah. So free contrast shower. Now, the next one, depending on where you live, and I fully believe in this, go walk every day and don't take your coat. Don't wear a sweater. Go get sweaty. So, like, walk faster, be outside, and like embrace that it's cold today. Get outside. And then on top of that, here it's sunny most days. So you want the sun on as much of your skin as possible, right?
Yeah.
So wear a t-shirt, get outside, maybe even throw your shorts on if you can. Now, if you're in the Arctic Circle, maybe not a good idea, but most people live here. So you can get outside in most of these temperatures for 20 to 30 minutes and you're going to be fine. You're going to feel better the rest of the day. And also, like, as parents, let your kids get cold. Like, let them be
I agree.
cold. Stop throwing coats on them when it's 50 degrees. Like, they'll be fine. Hypothermia doesn't kick in at 65, 70 degrees, just so you know. So,
well, what I think about too is people want to be like, oh, well, my kids are going to get sick. Man, when I tell you your kids are like, not your kids, but I'm saying kids are sick all year round. You're getting the flu, you're getting a cold in the summer, in the springtime. Don't tell me it's just the cold outside for the winter, because I know that's not true. You know, actually going outside, getting some fresh air, getting some sun, I'm telling you, that's what keeps you from getting sick.
yeah.
Not being inside with this circulated air and these fake lights and all these germs that are in here. You think that's better for you, being inside? Okay, I believe you.
Yeah, stop being one of them weak people like Savannah, where you always have to have a space heater blowing on.
Yes, she sits on a heating pad or sits with that space heater.
Jesus, toughen up.
That's funny.
So yeah, get outside, be cold, enjoy like getting a sweat going in the cold, and like I don't know if you notice this, and we'll get to it when we talk about more like running. But when I go outside in the cold, and it's kind of gross, but I start coughing up and like spitting out all the junk from like being in the heat and being inside. Like you notice all that like dust and stuff wants to get out, right?
Yeah.
So you notice like when you run and you move in the cold, you start spitting out all this green and yellow stuff that doesn't want to be inside you, you know?
People cannot tell me they don't get stuffy when they turn the heat on in their house. I feel like I'm suffocating. So the last 2 winters, I haven't turned the heat on once in my house.
I like it. It's a nice challenge.
Right? So if I get out of bed, guess what? If I am that cold, I'll throw on my robe or throw on a sweatshirt. But the heater,
we're saving you money here. Right? You're saving money on food because you got the crock pot going. You're walking outside. You don't need a big coat. Get rid of that big coat. In Georgia, come on, man. You don't need no big coat. Get rid of that big coat. Don't buy a $2,000 coat. Get outside. You've got wear your OXFIT shirt. Get outside. That's free. All right. And then contrast showers. Free. Give it a try.
Free.
And literally start with 15 seconds at the end of your shower. And like I've built up to about 3 minutes or so now. And that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. Some people go straight cold showers, but there's a lot of psychopaths, you know? There's a lot of psychopaths around. So,
in the summer after we train in the afternoons, I'm straight cold shower.
I mean, yeah, but the people that just want to do cold showers, I mean, you don't have to punish yourself. You could just treat it as something nice. So embrace these things. And then finally, step number 3 is don't hibernate, right? Like don't hide, connect. You've got to connect with people. You have to connect. If you know everything that's on all the streaming services over the next couple of months, you're probably going to be pretty sad, you know, and you're not really going to know why. And it's because you're missing out on human connection, right? Obviously, OXFIT, I would say find a gym with people, right? You're already paying a gym membership. If you go there and you stick your headphones in and you fight over benches or whatever the hell people do that's from the 1980s, then you're probably not going to connect with everybody unless it's you. The only thing I see on Instagram is big-ass brawls in these gyms. Maybe that's how you want to connect. So if it is, sign up for one of them, stick your headphones in, go see if you can fight over a bench or where to put your camera or whatever it is. But come and connect with people and come and work out with people that are also wanting to connect, right? So there's certain gyms where people don't want to connect, right? They go in and they just want to work out. I have many emails from people that came to our gym and said, I see what you guys are doing. I understand it, but I just want to go work out and not talk to anybody. And I said, good. There's all kinds of gyms for that. There's hundreds, thousands in Atlanta for that exact thing. But if you want a gym where you want to connect and get to know everybody and somebody asks you about your day and work out in a group and feel part of the team, then find a gym like that. And that will protect you, you know, every day getting that little boost.
I mean, yeah, because we're not only hibernating, a lot of us are working from home.
Mm.
We're not even going to the office and connecting with people anymore. So it's like double hibernation.
Yeah.
You're at home, you're still in your robe, you're working, you take a break, you're on the couch. You don't go to a gym at any point during the day. Maybe you go to the store. The only person you connect with is a Starbucks drive-through person.
Right.
Like there's nothing happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say find a gym where people want to connect is number one, but also like don't work from home.
I agree with that.
Don't work from home, especially during the winter, right? Like force yourself out. If it's a coffee shop, if it's a shared workspace, if it's go work at a friend's house, right? Like work together. Take your laptop, sit across the dining room table from each other, work together, you know, be around other people. Don't just completely disconnect and hibernate and hide away and just get out your house. Cause like when it's cold outside and I'm looking outside and it looks cold, even though it's probably going to be 75 today, I want to go sit on the couch because it's right there. Right? But get out of the house. One thing that I missed showing you was something that I know you'll like. So I had Andrew, who you've been talking about cold showers.
Yeah.
We'll jump back, right? Why not?
Yeah, we're fine. We're still in that circle right now.
Cold shower.
When you get into cold water, as long as you don't stay in there to the point where you start becoming hypothermic, you actually are increasing your metabolism and body heat.
So you increase your metabolism and body heat. Staying in there till you get hypothermia. Yeah, that's not good for you. Don't do that.
So a lot of people take a cold shower, get into an ice bath early in the day because you get that shot of adrenaline and cortisol. You also get the release of a neuromodulator dopamine, which
the neuromodulator dopamine. That's how I always describe it.
I knew that.
This is incredible, but there's a paper published in the European Journal of Physiology. It showed that there's a 2.5x huge increase in dopamine release, very long lasting. 2.5x is the amount of dopamine that's triggered by the use of cocaine. But the difference.
Let's go. It's free cocaine.
Right. Now it's starting to make sense, I think, why I'm always so hype every single day. I'm taking a cold shower, aka cocaine.
Love it.
Every morning.
So yeah. So these are our tips. You'll like this one too. This one I love. And like this is unbelievable when you live in Atlanta. Why Nordic children sleep outside. Have you seen this?
Oh, yes. I love this. Play it.
Yeah.
In Scandinavian homes and even in kindergartens, the kids actually sleep outside for nap times in almost all kinds of weather. It is very common to have to supply your school with an extra outdoor sleeping pram for your child.
Yeah, so look at the temperatures that they're sleeping outside. It's not just like, they sleep outside in winter.
So they can take their daily nap outside in temperatures all the way down to
negative 13 Fahrenheit.
Dang.
Okay, so
in a child's development.
So don't be shocked if you go to Scandinavia.
This custom is also deeply rooted in the belief that fresh air and nature plays a crucial role in a child's development.
I mean, that says it all. Fresh air, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at a lot of these kids. They're inside all day. All they eat is sugar, candy, red dye number 1, blue. And look what's happening to them. Sick all the time.
And then, so yeah, like what we talk about with joining a gym or joining a club or something is finding, you have an exciting challenge, right? Like we're doing through Hell Week this week. And usually this is a quiet time of year and our gym is packed. People want to just have that challenge. You need that challenge. Then you've got community, accountability. You feel like you're improving, and you've got a variety to your workouts, which are all things that if you want it for free, you could probably Google in your local neighborhood, and I bet there's a free run club that will be doing the same thing. We also have a run club on Sunday that I want to do, especially through the winter, because like I said, it gets you outside, it gets you cold. I think it protects you from getting sick. And also it's got all that other stuff, community, accountability, all that stuff in it. So just find a run club if you can't afford a gym.
I think that's great advice.
A book club, right?
Oh,
It's not for me, but might be for you, right? Like if it gets you off of the streaming services, reading a book and like some kind of community, and especially a book club that meets once a week, you know, we should try and find out if there are some of them. We can recommend them to people.
Right? I know. Dang. Or maybe we just need to start. I mean, I know we have our OXFIT books of the month, so maybe we need to turn that into a club.
Right. Yeah. Just give that extra. Yeah. Get people. It might help get people off just knowing everything that's on Netflix and stuff like that. And, yeah. So we've got the 3 tips. You go.
So number 1, we're gonna binge the Crockpot.
Binge it.
We're binging it. I love binge eating. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Go.
Number 1. Number 2, we're going to take a cold shower. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I saying it in the right order? We're embracing the cold. We're embracing the cold. We're getting uncomfortable. We're going to, you know, increase our metabolism, and we don't need to buy $1,000. I thought you were going to take it to the next level and just go and take it all off like Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not buying a cold plunge. All right. And then number 3.
If you cold shower for the next 6 months, go buy one.
I agree. And then last but not least, we're getting outside. We're building a community. We're going to the gym. Maybe we're joining a run club, maybe a book club, you know, even a cooking class. I was just thinking about that. You can do a cooking class.
Just joining a club. So
yeah,
the Crockpot healthy foods, it's so easy. It'll change your week. Embracing the cold, getting outside as much as you can this winter. No excuse. Go for a walk in the rain. Why? Because when was the last time you did it? So just go and do it. Everyone in Atlanta hides when it rains. I'm from England. We don't do shit if we stayed inside when it rains. Get outside no matter what. Don't hibernate. Close down your Netflix account. Find a club. Join a book club, run club, gym, something like that. So that's our top 3.
I think those are great.
Cool. I got a couple of bonus ones.
Okay.
So stand up to do your work.
Ooh.
Stop sitting down as much.
Ooh, good one.
Especially now. One of my favorite videos is really old, and it's my favorite guy. Where is he? You'll like this. This might be a little bit long, but we'll go through it together. So it's a guy called Kelly Starrett, and he's the original mobility guy for like functional fitness. He used to own a gym, CrossFit, San Francisco CrossFit, which was like one of the first gyms in America. He did all the mobility seminars, you know.
Well, that's good.
But he's really entertaining. And he has a book called Sitting is the New Smoking.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Trigger.
Here we go. So do this test. So I want you to do it, and I'm going to do it when he does it. Ready?
Okay.
Up for me. Check this test out at home. You should have about 130 degrees of range of motion.
I don't have that much range of motion.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
120 degrees.
How do I know?
Try and get it as high as his. Okay, not bad.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Let me do the other side.
But he's not pulling as hard as me. Really, my range is there. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I would say if I wasn't pulling, I'm right here.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. Okay.
Okay, so you should have that.
Without cheating, keeping the leg straight, you should be able to pull that leg up to about 120, 130.
120 degrees. See, that's me. That's about mine.
Okay.
Magically,
Yeah.
he fits about the same height and he grabs through the chair. That's so weird.
So look at that. It's about the same height as a chair. Why is that?
Ooh.
Because have you seen my kids do a squat? If I told
Right.
him to lift his leg up, it probably hit him in the chest.
The problem is we're shy here. So we're seeing a couple things. Sit down for me. That's called the Diane Fu sit. It's actually how you sit to the toilet. Buddy. So here's what's up, is that if we sit tall, out and I say, hey, lift your leg up as far as you can, you'll notice that we both only go
Ooh, try that one.
Okay.
All right, so you're sitting down.
Sitting tall.
There you go. It's coming up pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, mine's coming up pretty well.
My right side is not good.
Yeah, no, my left side's way better than my right side. But that's my right hip is always messed up, I feel like.
Right. Oops. Oh, where did he go? Get back here, supple leopard. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Few inches off the ground. If you try to do both sides, you're just not going to lift very up. What ends up happening, if you're trying to get your legs up, you have to tilt way back. The reason is that the hip is working in such strange end range. It's really long, so you have basically a couple ways to maintain and flex forward. One is this kind of rectus femoris, hip flexor complex. The second is the psoas, the spine to the femur. Now, he's at end range of his capsule. Remember, he's only about that much anyway. And then he's weak sauce because he's working at end range. Dude, it's not that you're weak, it's that you're weak sauce. All right? So how is he going to, as he sits in this position, how does he keep his torso upright? If his pelvis, his hip flexors can't do it, what's the mechanism? Well, the mechanism is psoas pulls me up. And so it looks like I'm sitting up and tall beautifully all day long. Great, but I'm actually deeply overextended. And I'm
Deeply overextended because your psoas is working so hard to keep you upright.
Interesting.
Because your hips are so tight. So then what do? Pull your back.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Dang, yeah.
So get out of your chair. I'm going to do this podcast eventually standing up. I don't like sitting down here, but I just don't have the stuff to raise it up. But we'll get there. The internet's better here, so that's why I'm doing it here. But I got to figure out the setup.
I mean, if you think about it, though, that's what we deal with a lot when people come to class. Like we come in here and we have the warm up on the board. We're moving. You're moving about 5 minutes. We're getting into stretching and mobility. But a lot of times you need to be outside of the gym, standing up, walking around. Because if you're just coming in here after sitting all day and you're expecting to lift some kind of crazy heavy weight or do, move a certain way, and you haven't moved at all day, and then you wonder why your lower back is always achy, your hips are hurting, are you actually prioritizing, your body outside of the gym? Because we're not. All we do is sit down, we lay down. We lay down with our computer on our chest. We slouch over when we're at the computer. Yep. There's so many ways that we're just causing impingements on our own body. So
my last bonus tip. That was a good one, right? You liked that video.
That was good. Yeah.
Do you know that guy?
I don't think so.
That's amazing. Like everybody used to know who he was, right? If you're in this space, like he was the mobility guy. So it's funny that he wrote a book called The Supple Leopard and a book called Sitting is the New Smoking, and they're both awesome books. Literally, the Supple Leopard book, for everywhere you're tight, will have a bunch of different mobility exercises for it.
Well, I want to be a supple leopard.
We have it at the gym.
Do we?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I need it. I need to look at that.
And then my last bonus tip of the day, we're at 33 minutes. Drink bone broth instead of coffee in the morning.
Preach. Let's go. I love that.
And if you've got a crock pot, you could technically make your own bone broth. But
that's great advice.
Because bone broth's not cheap. So
no, it's not.
Maybe you can link them two together. I won't, because that sounds like a lot of work. But coffee first thing in the morning, not always great, right? So if you can replace it with a hot drink, which makes you feel good, which bone broth does that, and it's got all them things that you're not getting from your meat, because we don't eat, what do they call it? Like nose to tail or something like that? Is that what they call it?
Nose to tail.
Then it's got a lot of that good. You give us the details. What's in like collagen and stuff? If you really break it down, you'll have that bone marrow that's in the bone. You'll have all that really good gelatinous collagen that comes when you make it yourself, especially.
because you want that extra
Well,
collagen.
collagen is gross as a supplement.
It is disgusting as a supplement. And really, all these ones that are powders, they're broken down so much, they're really not doing you any benefit, honestly. So it's like, oh, well, we're going to charge you X amount for you to buy this collagen, when really, if you got it straight from the source by eating more meat, it'd be more beneficial.
Yeah.
See, and like if we really wanted to get technical, drinking coffee in the morning first thing is so bad for your body, because the system that caffeine runs on is called your adenosine system. It's not even up and running yet. So that adenosine system has receptors that would accept your caffeine that you are drinking, but they're not awake yet. So if you are going to drink anything in the morning, bone broth, because then that's going to wake up your body, wake up your system. It's going to get that adenosine system ready. Or room temperature lemon water does the same thing. So one of those two, and then later on you can have your coffee. You'll notice such a difference in your energy all day, because all that caffeine gets attached into the system. And as it's running, it actually gets used instead of being completely bypassed.
That's some awesome advice, Beef. This is our best episode yet.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So our challenge to you is to go out and catch seasonal awesomeness disorder. And we've got, that was 6 steps. But
yeah.
Binge on healthy foods. Use that crock pot. 2, embrace the cold. Cold showers. Throw your coat away, depending on where you live, and get outside and be cold. Don't turn your heating on unless you really need it on. Keep it on the lowest that you possibly can. Don't hibernate. Find a club where it's a gym. Don't just go to a gym that says they have a community. Find one that actually has a community. Join a run club where people actually want to talk to you, not one that is just a group of people and you stand there on your own and then you go run. Find one that actually gives a shit. Then find a book club. Book club might be great for you, or a puzzle club, or I don't know what other, but there's got to be, in Atlanta, there's got to be millions of clubs that are right for you. But find one that somebody will care if you don't show up, right? If you're not there 3 or 4 times a week, or you're not there once a week, someone's going to check in on you and hold you accountable. Stand up and work. Stop sitting down. Sit down as little as possible. Find mobility things to get your hips looser. Drink something different than coffee first thing in the morning.
Yes.
Bone broth is my recommendation because it tastes great and it's warm. So it's a nice little treat to get your day started. If you like hot coffee in the morning, it's a simple replacement. And
we love some protein first thing in the morning too.
And the main one in all of that, honestly, is don't isolate yourself. Find people. Be around as many people as you can. And take vitamin D if you can't get out enough. But don't take some ownership of the season. Don't just say I get sad and there's nothing I can do. Like, let's focus on having the best 2 months leading up to the holidays that you can, and use some of these things to protect yourself, right?
I agree.
Everybody is susceptible to these things. It's really easy to isolate yourself. Don't just say I'm an introvert. Like, you've got to force yourself to get into these groups and actively be a part of that. Because you going out and doing this, the best thing you can do by joining one of these clubs, or maybe even volunteer at something, is you can have an impact on somebody else's seasonal disorders, right?
Right.
You going out and being awesome could save 2 or 3 more people from being sad, right? Bring people with you. So what do you want to say to wrap it up?
Oh, man. I thought I was going to get real serious, and I was like, no, Caitlin, don't say that.
I just realized I didn't have my mic the whole time.
I heard you this whole time, so it was good. But, I mean, the holidays, full of love, full of excitement. So use that love and excitement for yourself. That was it. That was my advice.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Toxic Tuesday. It's been a blast. Yes, go out, take ownership, look after yourself, check in on other people, bring other people with you. and go and be awesome.
Yes, I love being awesome. And let's be awesome together at OXFIT. Let's hang out.
All right. I'm going to eat lunch and then come to the gym. Are you going to be there?
I'm taking noon. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I'm coaching you in 40 minutes.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this one. I fucking loved it.
It was great.
Beefy, you enjoy it?
Oh man, I am loving, doing these things was always out of my comfort zone. So being able to do this with you and be on camera I'm starting to really, really enjoy it.
For the, like, what is it? I think it ends with like the final shot of us like talking or something. So let's do a full one to see if it. All right. I'm going to just hold that one because look awesome because it's awesome.